What is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video, and it feels so damn good to be doing this type of video at home. I did my picks last week when I was on vacation. It just did not feel the same. I didn't put as much editing into it. I didn't like it. I'm back at home now. I can do all the editing I want. I can be as patient, talk as much as I want. This just feels a lot better. If you haven't seen a video like this from me before, it's pretty damn simple. I'm just going to give you the breakdown of each and every game and tell you who I think is going to come out as the winner. I'm also keeping you guys updated on how I do on a weekly basis. I'll tell you how I did in week 3 in just a moment, but before we do that, you guys know the drill around here. Mate applesauce here for hungry 3-0 might be. Mate applesauce will satisfy whatever satisfy you need to satisfy you. The Caveman guarantee. I promise it will never fail you. Eat your mate applesauce. It's as simple as that. Quickly, before we get into my week 4 game picks, let's talk about how I did in week 3 and where my overall record stands throughout the season thus far. In week 2, I had a 13-3 week, and I followed that up in week 3 with a 12-4 week. So I'm doing pretty damn well right now. I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm kind of on a hot streak right now. Adding the success of my week 3 at 12-4 gives me an overall record of 33-15 on the year. Doing pretty damn well. Week 1 really screwed me, and the Chiefs are really screwing me right now as well. But 33-15, not too bad. I might have some sort of an idea of what I'm talking about just sometimes. So let's get into week 4. Aside from week 1, week 4 has definitely been the hardest up to this point. Starting with Thursday Night Football, though, this isn't as hard as the rest of the week is going to get. The Cincinnati Bengals are hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars in what should be just such a fun freaking primetime game. I mean, who made the primetime schedule? This is brutal. There are no secrets to keep here. The red-hot Cincinnati Bengals are going up against a pretty ice-cold Jacksonville Jaguars team who really just seem to be lost. Trevor Lawrence doesn't seem to have much confidence. Urban Meyer doesn't know what he's doing. And the Cincinnati Bengals are just playing football, and they're doing it in a very, very explosive fashion. Jamar Chase has come on the scene to be one of the better rookie wide receivers this year. They look pretty damn good. Going into the season, I never thought the Bengals would be in contention for the AFC North, but here we are. I do believe they come out with a victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars, although I am in a survivor pool, and I know some people took the Bengals, but just for some reason, I'm just not sure this is a complete lock. I do think the Bengals are going to win, and I say that with confidence, but not confident enough to say it's a lock. Moving on to Sunday, the game that is going to kick us off for 1 o'clock is the 1-0 Atlanta Falcons in the last week, playing against the 0-1 in the last week Washington football team. This game is probably going to be one of the closest that we have all week, and I don't know what to think, honest to God. Like, this Thursday night pick was easy, and then we get to the first Sunday 1 o'clock game, and it's the hardest decision I ever have to make. I mean, both teams, both the football team and the Falcons, beat the New York Giants by just a single field goal. I mean, like, literally a game-winning field goal. They both won in the same fashion. It's just so difficult. The Washington football team is favored slightly in this matchup, and that's who I'm going to take here. I think the Washington football team's defense has a chance to get back on track against a very, very bad Atlanta Falcons offense. The Atlanta Falcons defense really can't stop anything, and that includes the run. I think if Antonio Gibson has room to rumble on the ground, that will open up the field for Taylor Heineke and make it a lot easier for him to move down the field. So with that being said, I'm taking the Washington football team over the Atlanta Falcons, but it is going to be a tight freaking matchup. Moving on, we got another pretty intriguing 1 o'clock game. We got the heartbroken Detroit Lions heading to Chicago to play against a pretty lost and misguided Chicago Bears roster. The Lions, honest to God, have been in every single game they played in up to this point to some capacity. Against the 49ers, they were kind of getting blown out, but they made a game out of it in the end. They kind of, started to play catch up in garbage time, and they made the score look a little bit more respectable than it did originally. Week 2 against the Packers, they were in it for a lot of the game. They truly were, but then near the end, the Packers started to run away with it. And then against the Ravens, they got as close as they've gotten to a win all year, and Justin Tucker pretty much crushed their dreams. As far as the Bears go, Matt Nagy either needs to give up play calling or he needs to be completely fired. Neither of those things I think are going to happen by week 4, so that makes this game very, very interesting. But I am still going to give it to the Bears because I think they really, really do have a solid run game. I think the Lions struggle against the run. If they just hand the ball off to David Montgomery at least 15 to 20 times this game, I think this will be a victory in favor of the Bears. Not to mention that last week against the Cleveland Browns, when the Chicago Bears offense only had like 1 positive yard on offense, it was only a 20-point game. The Chicago Bears defense in that situation, given the context, played out of their minds. I think they're really going to shut down that Detroit Lions offense. Next up, we got another very, very intriguing football game on our hands. It seems like the narrative for week 4. The Dallas Cowboys and Carolina Panthers are facing off. This should be a very, very good game. I am taking Dallas, who is at home and who is also favorited, but I really think if the Carolina Panthers were healthier than they are right now, then they would do to the Cowboys what they did to the Saints earlier in the year. Additionally, if you were not aware, the Carolina Panthers not only lost Christian McCaffrey for a couple weeks to a hamstring injury, but they also lost their rookie cornerback who's been a stud for them in the secondary, J.C. Horn. He went down with a broken foot. I think he's probably out for the year, if not most of it. Yeah, that's pretty crushing. I know they traded for C.J. Henderson from the Jaguars, but I don't think that's going to make up for what J.C. Horn was doing in that secondary. It's going to be a good game, but I really got to give the edge to the Dallas Cowboys just because of the injuries that the Carolina Panthers have suffered as of late. Next up, we have a game that I really can't wait to see. The Indianapolis Colts are heading to Miami to be hosted by the Miami Dolphins. Do not be deceived by the Indianapolis Colts winless record right now. I'm warning you right now, I'm picking the upset here. The Colts get their first win on the road against the Dolphins. This is my first upset of the week, and I understand the Colts are 0-3, but listen, please listen to me for just a second. Week 1 against the Seattle Seahawks, the Indianapolis Colts, we're not healthy. You know, Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson were both coming off of those weird foot injuries. They both broke their foot. We're supposed to be out for 12 weeks, and then all of a sudden came back really quick. They lost to the Seahawks in week 1. It was a little bit more decisive than I would have liked, but still, dropped to 0-1. Week 2, though. Week number 2 against the Los Angeles Rams, who just beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They lost by 3 points. They lost by a field goal. The Indianapolis Colts were on the verge of beating the best team in the NFC and probably the best team in the NFL, but Carson Wentz unfortunately rolled both of his ankles. He got hurt. He had to be taken out of the game. Jacob Eason came in and threw a pick, and that was it. That was it. They sealed the deal. The Rams won that game. But I really think if Carson Wentz doesn't get hurt there, they beat the Rams. And then going into week 3, like I said, he got hurt in week 2. He rolled both of his ankles. Somehow Carson Wentz played in week 3. I don't know how he keeps playing through all these foot injuries, but still, Carson Wentz plays in week 3. They're down by 1 against the Titans going to the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, they could not seal the deal. But my point is, they have been in games with much better teams than the Miami Dolphins. They've gotten close to beating teams that are much better than the Miami Dolphins. Please, I'm telling you, do not fall for the Dolphins trap. The Colts are winning this game. Moving on, we got another pretty damn good game. Another hard choice to make as the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns face off. Nick Chubb is going to rumble and tumble his way to a Cleveland Browns victory. The Vikings are literally the definition of inconsistent. They'll lose to the Bengals in overtime, but then they'll go and beat the Seahawks. It doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever. But yeah, if the Browns somehow managed to let this one slip through their fingers, I would be relatively shocked. Give me the Cleveland Browns in week 4. Next game I almost feel bad about as the New Orleans Saints are set to host and probably dismantle the New York Giants. The Giants have been in 3 very close games over the last 3 weeks against teams that are probably more at their talent level. Now they're going against a team in the New Orleans Saints who are far and above better than them, and I just don't think it's going to be very close. Moving into the last couple 1 o'clock games, we have the Tennessee Titans being hosted by the New York Jets. If the New York Jets were any other team beside the New York Jets, I really would give them a solid opportunity to win this game. Titans are dealing with a lot of injury issues right now. It's A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, their 2-star wide receivers, are both dealing with their own injuries respectively. Yeah, if the Jets were any other team, I think they would take advantage of that fact, but I still think Derrick Henry's just going to run the Jets right out of their building, and the Titans take this one on the road. As for the last 1 o'clock game, we have a game that probably should be very easy to pick, but just because of the way things have gone over the last couple of weeks, makes me really hesitate just a little bit. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles are going head-to-head. What the hell are the Kansas City Chiefs doing right now? Of course I'm going to take the Chiefs because of the Chiefs. They have Patrick Mahomes, yada. But, really, what in God's name are they doing? It would be very neglectful if I was going to mention the Kansas City Chiefs struggles and not the Philadelphia Eagles struggles, because both teams have been struggling respectively. The Kansas City Chiefs are just the better team. They're the better offense, not the better defense. The Kansas City Chiefs defense has been miserable, but I think their offense is just going to do what they usually do and take home the W against the Philadelphia Eagles to get back on track. Before I move into the 4 o'clock games, I forgot to mention that the money lines that I'm using in this video are obviously powered by FanDuel. You probably figured that out by now. Not sponsored, but powered, so thank you to them. Moving into the 4 o'clock slate, we have a potential game of the week candidate. The undefeated red-hot Los Angeles Rams are hosting the Arizona Cardinals. This is going to be a pretty damn good game, right? I mean, the Los Angeles Rams just came off of a surprising victory, at least in my opinion, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then we got the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray, who's been playing at an MVP level. I mean, this is going to be a pretty damn good matchup. Just for the simple fact that, like I just mentioned, the Rams just beat the Bucs. You have to take the Rams here. They're just playing so damn well. I think it's going to be a little much for the Cardinals to handle. D-Hop's not healthy either, which is not helping the Cardinals' case. But I'm playing it safe, going with the favorite. The Los Angeles Rams should win at home here to keep their undefeated streak alive, but I fully expect it to be a damn good game. Starting right at the same time that the Rams and Cardinals kick off, we have our second potential game of the week candidate as the divisional rivals of the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks go head-to-head. This is going to be another great game. The Seahawks, I mean, I don't know. They're just weird. They're in a state of shock right now. Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, I mean, that explosive offense, it's being shut down. It's being slowed down. I don't know what it's going to take for them to wake up, but they better wake up quick because they are certainly behind the 8 ball in the best division in football. After getting walloped by the Vikings, I don't know if they're going to be able to respond to another good team in the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, this is a humongous game for both of these teams. I'm going to give it to the 49ers, though. If the 49ers didn't make a game out of their game against the Packers, I would give this to the Seahawks. But, I mean, I was just so surprised by the fight that the 49ers showed against the Packers. I mean, it looked like they were going to get blown out in, like, the first quarter and a half or so. But the 49ers really showed some fight that I didn't know they had. I think they're going to put the Seahawks down into the dirt and really bury them deeper into the division here. I'm giving this to the 49ers. Moving on to the second half of the afternoon slate, we have a game that I think is being extremely overhyped as the Baltimore Ravens head to Denver to take on the Denver Broncos, who are undefeated, but talk about a phony 3-0. They are the Steelers of the season. I'm just keeping it honest with y'all. I know everybody kind of knows it already, but the Broncos have beaten probably the 3 worst teams in the NFL, so they really haven't played against any real competition yet. And the Ravens, well, they've been through hell and back. They have played some real competition up to this point. I think the Broncos are in for a true reality check. I don't think they're as good as everybody thinks they are. I mean, obviously, they're 3-0 and it's a phony 3-0, but I still think people are giving them way too much credit. I don't even know if the Broncos are going to sniff the playoffs. They might have started off hot, but I think they're going to face some real competition down the road, including the Baltimore Ravens, and that's who I'm giving this game to. For the last afternoon game at 4:25 that we have to talk about, the Green Bay Packers are going to absolutely kick the Pittsburgh Steelers' ass. Like, I mean, what even is this game? The Steelers, I mean, Big Ben sucks. Their defense is hurt. Their offensive line sucks. The Steelers have no redeemable factors about them. I can't believe they beat the Bills. So I'm not even coming close to double taking about this one. Give me the Packers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in for a long damn season. Here we go. The final stretch of week 4. Sunday Night Football features another game that is being very overhyped because of the storyline surrounding it. I think you know what I'm talking about here as Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers head back home, or Tom Brady heads back home to Foxborough to take on his old mentor, Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. The Buccaneers have a far more talented roster than the Patriots. They're actually complete polar opposites of rosters. This game is probably not going to be close. I fully expect Tom Brady's emotions to get the best of him, and he's going to want to slaughter this team, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And last but most certainly not least, we have a great divisional matchup on Monday Night Football between two teams that play in stadiums that probably belong in outer space. The Los Angeles Chargers are hosting their divisional rival, the Las Vegas Raiders. I do think the Las Vegas Raiders are a good team. I am a believer in the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they have a chance to be a solid playoff team. They have 3 good wins under their belt. But I gotta go with the Chargers here. It's going to be a great Monday night matchup. So there we go. Those are my picks for week 4. I'm coming off of a lot of momentum from week 2 and week 3. Hopefully I could carry that into week 4. This week was really hard to pick though, I can't lie. It's another week of football, another reason to be happy, but if you guys have any thoughts, leave them down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, as always, please like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. You want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I'd appreciate that. You want to go over to Twitter, follow me over there, I would appreciate that as well. I'm a part of the Built-in Buffalo content creation team. If you enjoy Buffalo Bills content, be sure to follow and subscribe to us on any social medias that you may have, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.